welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining another state-of-the-art webinar with Holborn. Thank you very much indeed. I'm going to put my phone over there. Luke, how lovely to see you. First time on the show from Liverpool.
Yes, thank you very much for having me, Chris. Very excited. Very excited.
Got my Liverpool mug, and we've also got straight from London, Kaprinka, who looks after our DD, and we're going to sort of dig into a bit of that as well. Kaprinka, welcome.
Thank you.
So Liverpool is an area we've looked at, and Kaprinka will vouch for me here, for a long time, but we've waited a long time to get the right one because there are some problems that have happened in Liverpool. I can't touch on the politics, but we've had to DD this out of control. Kaprinka, maybe I can bring you in there. And what did you find out, and why is it that you like this particular Portside place?
Well, Liverpool is an area, yes, indeed, we have actually looked at for a very long time. And there's a number of positive things that we found. One, starting with the developer. This is exciting as this is one of our very first partnerships with the developer directly. So when we actually looked at the developer, their skill, the team, and what they're looking to do for Liverpool, and the area and the region itself, they're a regional developer, if you like. They're not everywhere, around the UK. They focus and know their skill within that particular region itself. We felt that their skill and their knowledge and their experience and what they're looking to do in terms of the number of units that they want to complete and the projects that they want to complete is the right partnership to have. Digging into Liverpool itself, the development itself as well, and location. One of it is location with any project. The location of the actual projects as well is in a fantastic area, and I won't steal Luke's thunder. I'm sure he will talk to you and show you some of the maps a lot easier on that. Planning permissions, we look through planning permissions, we analyze, price per square foot basis, and we look at the general situation at this point in time and where the market is. So what for us was important to look at is price points in the region, the ability for the developer to complete the project and the location of the project, and all these came together nicely. And the fact that obviously we have a relationship direct with the developer is a bonus at the end of it.
Yeah, thanks, Kaprinka. Yeah, that's absolutely right. We are direct with the developer. The developer's been over to Dubai, had a meeting with Ross, who sadly can't be with us today, and we send our regards. Luke, as Kaprinka said, let's hear a little bit more about Liverpool.
Yes, of course. So, I'd just like to introduce Integritas Property Group. So we are a developer that is based in Liverpool. We are owned by Mitchell Walsh, our CEO. He is born and bred Liverpool. He's got a huge passion for the city, and we've actually been going for just over 4 years now as well. And so within those 4 years, I'm going to show you here, we've launched 15 developments in total. And that's 1,000 apartments that we've launched altogether. And we're actually going to be delivering on 400 apartments this year. So earlier we completed on a scheme called the Copper Box. So we completed on that in January. Where I've just been filming, that was at Bastion Point. That's due to complete next month. We're welcoming our new set of residents in there. So that's 69 units. And then we've also got Deacon's Yard, which is a PBSA scheme. That's 273 units. That's also completing later this year as well.
That's good. We love to hear about a good track record. Very good. Right, let's tell us a bit more.
A bit more. So about Liverpool. So yeah, I don't know where to begin, to be fair. So myself, I come from an agency background, and I have sold a number of schemes for a number of different developers in Liverpool. The biggest amount of sales that I have done is for Integritas Property Group. Predominantly where we build as well, we do build in the regeneration zone. So in Liverpool, there's a lot going on, not actually in the city centre, on the waterfront as well, which is what I'll touch on later on. And that's predominantly where we build as well. So we predominantly build on the waterfront area of Liverpool or near there, and we also build in the areas with the most, regeneration going on, because that's where we believe that you're going to get the best capital growth and you're going to get the best rental demand as well.
I think you've got another slide to actually show that, haven't you, Luke?
I have. So yeah, there's a couple of things that I wanted to touch on really about Liverpool and with it being the new investment capital of the UK. So I'm going to be touching on connectivity, about the strong transport links in Liverpool, education, supply versus demand. So at the minute we've got, too much demand for the supply in Liverpool. What's going on business-wise here? And then also going to be touching on the regeneration in a bit more detail as well.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, so I wanted to start first of all on the connectivity of Liverpool. So we've got John Lennon Airport. So that actually contributes £340 million annually to Liverpool's economy. A lot of people actually don't know Liverpool does have its own airport. It's more towards the south of Liverpool. It's actually earned a 5-star rating from OAG for flight punctuality as well. We've also got Lime Street Station, which is in this image here. So it's the main train station of Liverpool. It's got all your direct transport links, so it can take you to Manchester in half an hour, Birmingham, London in 2.5 hours. It can also take you to Glasgow and Edinburgh as well. And then another thing a lot of people don't know about as well, Chris, is Liverpool has its own underground network. And it's only one of 4 cities in the UK to have one as well.
Excellent. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then I just want to touch on the education as well. So across 3 major universities in Liverpool, we attract 70,000 students across those universities, and over 10,000 of those students as well are international students that come from all over the world, from 160 countries, and that's growing as well. That's growing year on year. Liverpool also has one of the highest student retention rates as well, at 70%. And then what makes Liverpool a hotspot? So the rental market effectively is under huge pressure at the moment, and because a lot more people are moving here now, the demand is increasingly outstripping the supply. So over the past year, rental demand in Liverpool has increased by 12%, but the number of available properties have fallen by 9%. So that's actually driven rents up as well. So, the average 1-bedroom apartment is now costing £847 a month. And that's a 10% rise over the past couple of years as well. And I just wanted to touch on the top corporations and companies in Liverpool. So you've got tech companies in Liverpool, IBM, Amazon. They just built a warehouse in Nosey that's just outside of the city centre as well, 217,000 square feet fulfilment centre. You've also got Bosch. They're a huge contributor to Liverpool, the UK and the Liverpool's economy, should I say. And then you've also got Cape Gemini. So they achieve an annual revenue of £18 billion, and they've got a lot of international connections. They've really, really helped transform the city region, especially on the business side.
Luke, you've got some great companies there. IBM. Yeah. Are they in the city centre? Are they easily transportable to Portside Place, if that's the right word? If that's a word at all. Yeah. So it's commutable.
Everything in Liverpool city centre is, well, especially when you're in the city centre, you can get everywhere by foot because the city centre is not that big. But apart from that, it's well connected. So, especially with the underground network, you've not only got Lime Street part of the underground network, but you've also got 3 other train stations, and they go around in a circle. So it's very well connected by train to get in and around the city, but it's also very well connected by bus as well. So it's very, very easy to get around.
And it goes up Penny Lane, I expect. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, next slide.
Next slide. There we are. So I wanted to touch on the individual regeneration of what's going on. I'd say the biggest and most well known is the Liverpool Waters project. So this is actually a £5.5 billion investment that has gone into the waterfront area of Liverpool, particularly in the northern Docklands as well, where most of the regeneration is happening. Very close to Portside Place. You can, get to where all this is happening from there with a less than 10-minute drive. This is actually undertaken by the Peel Group. So you're familiar with the Peel Group, Chris?
Yeah, huge in that area. Massive company.
Huge. Yeah, very, very huge commercial property developer. So, if anyone doesn't know that these guys are responsible for building Canary Wharf effectively, but they've not only built Canary Wharf, they're also the guys that were responsible for Media City and Salford Quays. Now, when you look at those two areas, especially Canary Wharf, it's now a central business district of London, effectively, with Barclays Bank, HSBC are there, and then you've also got Media City, which is now home to ITV and BBC. But just to put it into a bit of perspective, the regeneration of what's going on in Liverpool Waters is going to be bigger than both of those projects, and it's going to be creating 20,000 new jobs. And as with those jobs that are being created, it's expected to expected to contribute to 9,000 new homes to be built in Liverpool. And it's also expected to increase the population drastically as well across the next 30 years. I'll just let you know, the Liverpool Waters project, it is a 30-year project as well. So the good thing with that is, by investing into it nice and early, you know full well that you are going to be getting consistent capital growth for a very, very long time.
Thank you, Luke. Let's go on and
You're
see
welcome.
what I know. We've got the Baltic Triangle coming up, haven't we? It's very famous.
We have, yes. We've got the Baltic Triangle. That's pretty much done. But I'll go on to the next one. I'm touching on the Baltic Triangle at the minute.
All right, I'm looking forward to that.
We're on to the 10 Streets project. This is, I say, a slightly smaller scheme. So if you can see, Liverpool Waters is here. This particular area is where the regeneration is happening. Everton Stadium is slightly further north there as well. So hence the name 10 Streets project. It covers 10 streets. It's a £110 million scheme to transform a certain area of, the Dockland area between city centre and Liverpool Waters to create more of a creative district. So it's going to feature workspaces, more performance venues. It's going to feature like nightclubs and bars and studios. So that's a bit of a less well-known project, but this is sort of how the Baltic market was 10 years ago. So with the Baltic Triangle, that was a little bit like this now. We've got a lot of empty warehouses. Now the Baltic Triangle is a very, very vibrant, creative district of Liverpool. They're looking to create something similar with the 10 Streets project as well. And then here we are, Baltic Triangle. So this has, since 2012, had £128 million invested into it. This has been transformed into a centre for a lot of startup businesses, particularly in the creative and media industries. A lot of independent artists are here, such as musicians. And then there's a number of independent businesses that are located here as well as, a number of bars, nightclubs and restaurants as well. So I say over, the past, 10 to 12 years, it's actually been transformed, into, a thriving district of Liverpool, again, outside of the city centre, with over 500 startup businesses are based here now.
Okay, let's move on to the next one, because people are itching to know about Portside Place. It always happens. Can you get on to the actual development, please? But yeah,
of course.
Keep going.
Just to put
I will do. One thing I wanted to touch on just before we went to the development is Festival Gardens. This is a bit of a lesser known regeneration south of Liverpool on the waterfront. So this is the closest to Portside Place. There's a lot going on in the south as well as the north. And that's a £700 million investment to create 1,500 affordable homes, as well as leisure and public space facilities as well.
Just to put it into perspective, Luke, just to put it into perspective for those that are with us on the webinar today, for these kind of regenerations, you have these kind of regeneration zones in other cities, in the likes of Manchester and the likes of Birmingham. And, Luke mentioned obviously Canary Wharf, which had a huge regeneration. But if you look at Canary Wharf and North Greenwich, for example, a property there commands a price of, anything from about 700,000 to about 1.4 million.
Yeah.
Anything in Birmingham, in and around these regeneration zones, it commands a price of about £300,000 upwards. Manchester, the team had a project in Manchester last week. So again, just from £400,000. Whereas if you actually look at the regeneration and the investments in Liverpool, from an investment perspective, for anybody that's actually looking to sweat their pound a little bit more, if I can actually say that in a sentence, Liverpool's got a lot to offer. It's up and coming, and therefore the pricing reflects that. And again, you can see just how the house prices are in Liverpool. So over to you, Luke, to talk about obviously the growing economy and what the house prices are like in Liverpool.
Exactly. So the way I always see it is, the way I always explain it is, you look at Manchester now, Liverpool is basically Manchester 10 years ago. So if you have a look at the average price, the property prices for a one bed in Manchester, you're looking at 250,000 upwards for a two bed, 350,000 upwards. Whereas the average property price right now in Liverpool is around the 180 region. But as well as that, as well as low property prices, you're also getting very, very strong capital growth. Now, I know Savills released a report recently for the northwest of England in particular, have got the highest growth potential, and they forecasted 28.8% across the next 5 years. But house prices of Liverpool are increasing very significantly. So they're nice and low, but they are increasing very quickly. In recent years, they're going up between 5 to 7% in value as well. And they're looking to increase over the next decade, up from an average property price of 187 up to 260 to 280,000. So by investing into Liverpool, just like what you say, Kaprinka, it's very, very much up and coming, and you're basically getting in nice and early.
Thanks, Luke. Moving on.
No problem.
Somebody's sending me messages.
No
right,
problem.
here we are. So for
Here
the person who just sent me a message, Portside Place from 181,000. Luke.
Exactly, yeah. So this is our latest residential release in Liverpool, which is Portside Place. So you've got prices from 181,000. Anticipated rental yield is 6.25%, although we do see that as quite conservative. Across all of our developments, should be able to achieve between a 6 to a 7% rental yield. Where this is located, very, very close to Liverpool's waterfront. It's located more on the south side, so it's near where Festival Gardens is, and it's very, very close to the Baltic Triangle as well. So it's about a 10-15 minute walk from there. It's also next door to a train station, which is Brunswick Station. That's actually part of the underground network as well. So that train will get you into the city centre within minutes, and it's literally a 30-minute walk from the development. So even though it is south, and even though it is slightly out, very, very easily commutable in and out of the city, which is what we found that a lot of tenants like these days. Prices from 181. We've got 198 units altogether across 2 blocks. And the good news is, especially when you're looking at it from an investment perspective, 75% of the development are 1-bedrooms. And then we've got a mix of 2 bedrooms and a few 2-bedroom duplexes on the other side as well. But the good thing is, across all of our developments, we have a 999-year leasehold, as well as peppercorn ground rent. And as you can see with the service charges, we like to keep the service charges nice and low. So what you might have noticed with the majority of our developments, Chris, is we don't put facilities in such as a cinema room, gyms, we don't put swimming pools, those sort of things in, because what we find over time is they increase the service charge a little bit too much and then end up eating into your monthly profits. So with something like this, especially with the area with it being in regeneration, you're getting strong capital growth because of where we're building, and then you're getting very strong net rental returns as well. And another good thing with this is it's quite flexible because you can also use it for long-term lets, and it's also short-term lets approved as well. So you can use it for the likes of Airbnb.
That is excellent. That is excellent. And just to explain for those that don't know the difference, a normal short hold tenancy is going to be a year, but with certain projects, and it's not all, I promise you that, it's not all, they have the facility. There's usually places of historic interest, locations where there are going to be lots of tourists for the Airbnb, because obviously people want to go and spend the whole weekend watching Liverpool Football Club, or going to Penny Lane and Strawberry Fields and everywhere else, the Cavern Club. That's where people want to go. Somebody just sent a message in. There we are. The answer's on the screen. A 30-second walk to the station. Sorry, Luke.
Yeah. It's all right. It's okay.
From my experience, as I was looking into a little bit of secondary stock, in secondary stock meaning not non-new build existing houses and kind of renovations and things like that. From my experience, people do tend not to like to live in the city. They actually like to live outside a little bit, either towards the front or just move even further out a little bit. Because if you actually look at Liverpool and the map, it's got, like London, it's got a lot of postcodes and postcode areas in a sense. And so from my experience, from what I've seen in the past, and correct me if I'm wrong, people do tend to like to live a little bit outwards rather than actually into the city center, and then commute in for either work or obviously commute for the universities if they're students. So that's what I noticed actually in terms of what tends to happen in Liverpool.
Okay, sorry, Caprica. Luke, questions just come in. It's on the railway line. Is there any train noise?
No, it's all underground.
There we are. That's the answer.
It's all underground, which is good.
Keep those questions coming. We'll answer them best we can. Thank you, Luke. So this is purpose-built, isn't it? Obviously, by looking at it, it's purpose-built. And the digging, as it were, the construction starts this year.
Yeah, it starts towards the end of this year. November, December time.
Completion will be approximately
Q2 2026.
Q2 2026. Okay, next slide, please.
Yeah, no problem. So, we were touching on about the facilities, about what we don't include, and we purposely don't include them. Facilities that we do include, as you can see, in between the two blocks here, we do have, a communal residence garden. Because we're not in the city centre, but we are in a built-up area, it is nice to have that green space, especially in a development. We've also got a reception and concierge as well. And how it's structured with Portside is it's built on a transfer deck. So the ground floor is what you can see here is actually the first floor. So underneath that, we have a car park as well, quite large car park with 70 car parking spaces as well. We do as well, Chris, just want to let you know, we do have an offer on at the moment. So instead of it being £10,000 per parking space, we are doing it for £5,000 as well.
Okay, that's good.
Just to let you know.
So it's all underground. The car park, there's no sitting outside and getting it baked or washed away. It's underground.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's presumably where the bike store is as well.
Yeah, that's exactly where it is. At the side of the developments as well, there's it's all fob accessed. So there's a gate. You need a fob to get in there. Either side of Portside, you've got two commercial buildings. So on the left hand side, you've got Pure Gym, and on the right hand side, you've got another commercial building as well, and then you've got Brunswick Station next to there. So especially if somebody's living in Block B, you're almost as if you're in a gated community because you've got to go through Block A to get to Block B.
Okay.
So it's a lot more secure. It's a lot secure in that sense.
Nice and secure. So somebody just asked a question. If they had a property there, Portside, and they wanted to go to Anfield, how long would that take?
So Anfield is a bit further out than what people would think. So from Portside to Anfield, you may need to get bus or train into the city centre, and then you would need to get a bus to Anfield, which may take about 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay, all right.
to do that.
As people, non-football people might know, Everton's new ground is being built,
Yeah.
but obviously their existing ground is there as well. So, how far away is Portside from the existing Everton ground?
So existing Everton ground is basically round the corner from Liverpool's. It's about the same.
Okay.
Everton's new stadium, that's located on the waterfront, and that's actually part of Liverpool Water's Regeneration. So it's a bit further north. So you'd be looking at maybe a 10-minute drive. There is a train station that is near Everton Stadium as well. So you can get the train from Brunswick to Sandhills, which may take you another 5 to 10 minutes, and then walk from Sandhills to Everton's new stadium. That's going to be, I say, the hotspot, not just for football, but a lot of events are going to be there, such as corporate events, concerts, that sort of thing is going to be in Everton Stadium a lot more than what it will be at Anfield as well when that is completed.
Oh, no, Liverpool don't allow all that stuff. We just like playing good football. Have you got another slide there, Luke?
I have, yes. Just wanted to run through now the layouts, and I've got a 1-bedroom layout and a 2-bedroom layout as well. So this is Unit 401 in Block B. So that's priced at 190,000. And what I've done is I've included what your rent per month would be with and without parking. So essentially it'd be 995 per month in terms of rental income without parking. With a parking space, because they are, in huge demand in Liverpool, it's an extra £100 a month easily. For that, as you can see, no ground rent that we charge, and service charges are nice and low as well. So you'd be achieving 6.25 to 6.5 gross rental yield with it.
Excellent.
But that's a lovely unit, corner unit on the 4th floor with a balcony. That is available as well, Chris. And then I've also got a 2-bedroom unit here as well. So again, 3-bedroom corner unit with a balcony. So both of these units will be perfect for both short and long-term lets. I think the balcony is definitely a selling point for them. With short-term lets, when I've been doing the calculations, Chris, what I've found is that your net return is effectively doubled for doing short-term lets as opposed to long-term lets, as you can see with this.
Yeah, but I'm going to put a caveat in there. Also, when you're doing that, you're going to really fully furnish it, and you've got to, every 3 days you're going to have to change the tails or the sheets or whatever. So
Yeah.
I'll just caveat that. That's absolutely fine. One question that's come in.
Yeah.
What's the payment plan? Let's just say somebody was interested and got hold of us and wanted to. Well, first of all, what we do, by the way, is we then select a unit, and I'm not the expert on that, but Luke clearly is, and finding the best unit. And let's just say they find one on the 3rd floor, facing south of the balcony, 2-bedroom. What would happen next?
Okay, yeah. So very simple. So we fill in a reservation form. It's £5,000 to reserve the unit. That will effectively take the unit off the market. We'll then begin exchange. The good thing with working with us, Chris, we have an in-house progression team. So our progression team will effectively instruct both sets of solicitors, buyer solicitor and seller solicitor. And it's a great thing by having the progression team because it keeps things hands off for yourself. I know that sometimes, especially dealing with solicitors, it's not everyone's favourite part of the job, but they make it very, very easy. And they also make the exchange very, very smooth and efficient. We can exchange within 21 days as well. So when you do exchange, you'll pay the exchange deposit of 20%, and then the 80% minus the reservation fee that's paid upon completion.
It's worth adding, Bo, that £5,000 reservation fee comes off the exchange.
Completion amount comes off the completion.
Yeah, just to make that clear, the reservation fee you do get back. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It goes into the property effectively.
So a pretty simple process. Another slide, or is that? I can't remember where you're
No, I'm finished. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm finished.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Luke. I think that's very well done. Very well done indeed. Yeah. I know now, as long as Vincent's listening. Hello, Vincent. Can you share our website? I was just going to do that. Kaprinka, whilst Vincent does that, anything else you want to add on the DD side?
No, I mean, it's just we wait with bated breath to get the developers starting the construction on the actual site itself.
Yeah.
So this is one thing that we will watch quite closely in terms of when the guys go on site.
Get a spade in the ground.
That's really, you know.
Right.
We watch things where I watch things.
I put this slide up, everybody, because I just want to show there's Portside Place on our website. Our website is holbornpropertyinvestments.com, where you'll see all the developments that we recommend to our clients. From Nottingham, as you can see there, Manchester, Liverpool, London, Edinburgh, York, they're all there. And actual fact, where you can stop there, Vincent, with Portside Place, and don't do it now, but if you click on more details, then this webinar and those of other webinars can be found there. So some really nice properties there. If you go down a bit, Vincent, I really do like Halcyon. Shouldn't say that, should I really? But I do like Halcyon, which is in a place called Bingley. Leeds, one resident, fantastic purchase. Really good, and that's on there as well. So I'm sorry, Luke, but I just wanted to share that because we've even got Spain there. We've got Barcelona there. Look at that, Vincent. If you scroll down a bit, we've got Barcelona. We got it's a smorgasbord of new developments. Thank you very much, Luke. That was excellent. Please send our regards on to Ross and his family.
Will do.
Brinker, thank you very much for jumping on at very short notice.
For any pleasure, just to mention, for anyone that's interested in looking at Liverpool and obviously introducing clients to that, because of the relationship that we have with the developer, there are certainly incentives. So talk to Chris and Luke, and they'll tell you all about it. Yeah, that's right. I mean, obviously, Luke's already mentioned the car park space, which is fantastic. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. It's a great show. Loads more shows on the website for you to watch. You can binge watch over a weekend, which is always great fun. Luke, thanks a lot. Kaprinka, as always.
Thank you very much.